It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bones Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now on the Mo Kelly Show, it's Tiffany Hobbs, the viral load.
She'll speak of all the viral things social media can bring.
Facebook, Insta, X, TikTok, the viral load with Tiffany Hobbs. Viral load, viral load, the viral load. Viral load with Tiffany Hobbs.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You know what time it is. It's time for the viral load with Tiffany Hobbs.
Woohoo! Let's get it. One of my favorite things to do is to visit Barnes and Noble. I love a good bookstore. I know Nick Poliokini has talked to you, I believe, about the last bookstore in downtown LA. Bookstores are going the way of the dodo bird, unfortunately. But if you're lucky enough to find one, hold on to it. And Barnes and Noble happens to be my bookstore du jour. This next viral story, comes out of Barnes and Noble. You know, Mo, when you visit a Barnes and Noble or other bookstores, you might happen upon an author doing a book signing or a book reading. Well, such is the case for a man from Toronto. His name is Jonathan Stanley. And on March 22nd, he set up a table at Barnes and Noble in Pennsylvania, waiting to sign copies of his new book titled Purposeful Performance, The Secret Mix of Connecting, Leading, and Succeeding. However, no one showed up for his book signing. Jonathan Stanley sat there for the hour and a half. No one showed up. And a woman who happened to be in Barnes and Noble recorded a video of him, because that's the world we live in. Everything is recorded. And the video was meant to encapsulate what she was seeing at the time, which is this man sitting at a table with books with no one lining up to hear or sign his material. Now, what this woman said, and her name is Taylor Mae Dinelli, is, quote, "This sweet man is sitting at Barnes and Noble with a stack of his books he wrote, and my heart is breaking every time someone passes him." That was the caption to her video. She uploaded it to TikTok, and it went viral immediately, having now been viewed over 76 million times. It garnered 28,000 and climbing replies to the post from places such as Ghana, the Philippines, and of course, stateside, with people saying, how do we buy this book? How do we support this man? The recording and the uploading was done completely unbeknownst to Jonathan Stanley, who at the time had no clue what was happening online. Earlier that day, when Jonathan Stanley had set up his book or his stand with his new book, he had only sold 12 copies. He had only sold 12 copies up until that point. He self-published the book in August of 2024. And That day that this video went viral, his book became an Amazon bestseller and was placed on Amazon's overall top 25 list and went number 1 in multiple business book categories.
I love it.
Jonathan Stanley says, he started to figure out that something was different. His phone was buzzing. He was getting alerts on social media saying, hey, we want to buy the book, or wow, just saw you on TikTok. He said he had absolutely no clue again that this had happened, but he remembered earlier in the day that he had met a young girl. She was about 4, and she had come up to him while he was at the table, curious as ever. And he said to her some very inspirational words just to kind of motivate her as a young book reader. But in a very beautiful coincidence, that little girl ended up being the daughter of Taylor May Dinelli, who took the video and uploaded it to TikTok.
How infrequently do we hear about a story where the power of social media does something positive? Not often.
Very infrequently. I wanted to start with something positive because of how infrequent.
Oh, hell, here we
news
go.
is.
Got ahead of myself.
All right. No. This next one is far from negative. It's pretty motivating. If you're looking for a new exercise regimen, then this next viral story is for you. Mo, I regularly see you stand at the table here. You'll march in place, walk in place. You do laps around the building here on the floor to get your cardio in so that you're not just sedentary for the hours you're on air. A lot of people love walking and count walking as being one of the most viable and valuable exercises for your health. Well, there's a new exercise trend, and it's called rucking.
Don't you cuss at me on this show.
RUCKING, and it has a host of physical and mental health benefits. It's walking, but it's the idea of carrying something heavy on your body. It is carrying weight on your body, technically on your back. And like regular walking, rucking is an accessible exercise. You can do it with anything that you have in your home. Put a backpack on, load it up with some sort of weighted something. Get that weighted blanket out. Get a few 10-pound, small hand barbells there. Put it in your backpack, and it's supposed to, of course, add weight to you that you will then carry around. So it helps with your strength training. It helps with your endurance. It helps with your cardiovascular workout. But it is becoming popular because people are sharing it online as something brand new. It's this brand new phenomena for people who haven't yet figured out that it's what many people do anyway. And they gave it a cute little tagline, rucking. And I'll say, if you have a big rucking pack, then, you're in good shape there. Pack your bag so that you are rucking appropriately. Rucking is a terrible word.
It is. You need to watch your mouth.
What the ruck? What the? I'm just talking about a little. Mo, for God's sakes, it's just.
Watch your mouth, or we're going to have to just, cut off your mic.
What the? What's going on around this place? Mo, Kelly?
Cut off her mic. Can't keep up with all that profanity.
I'm too fast for you. You should ruck a little bit more, Mo.
How did that get through?
FCC is going to be knocking on your rucking door. Gotcha.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. Part 2 of the Viral Load. Just
step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you want to get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
There's an efficient way to get caught up on a lot of news. It's called The Seven from The Washington Post. It's a newsletter and podcast. Whether you're reading or hit play, you get 7 stories you need to know, and you can consume it all in just a few minutes. The Seven is out every weekday morning by 7 a.m. Eastern. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'm one of the writers, and I host the show. Find The Seven podcast wherever you're listening. The newsletter link is waiting for you in the show notes.
Just a moment.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now it's time for the Viral Load with Tiffany. Live on KFI is Later with Mo Kelly. She'll talk about the topics on social media. The Viral Load with Tiffany Hobbs.
KFI AM 640, Later with Mo Kelly, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app. Let's start part 2 of the Viral Load with Tiffany Hobbs.
We can all use a healthy dose of good news. There's a lot going on in the world, and it's easy to inundate yourself, go down the rabbit holes, so to speak, of negative information, negative news. Well, this particular story is about a woman who has gone viral because what she does is share good news. Her name is Jen. She goes by @ThatGoodNewsGirl on TikTok, and she's gone viral to the tune of 2.3 million followers because her videos have struck a chord with her audience. The videos are likely, it's likely that you've seen her videos. They're mega popular, extremely popular, being shared hundreds of thousands of times. One such video chronicles the unlikely friendship between a wild squirrel and a pet dog. Feel good content for sure. Other videos include a cat who landed his dream job at a bookstore. As you can see, some of this may not necessarily be steeped in reality, but is certainly whimsical and feel good. And another story details the 14-year-long friendship between a Turkish fisherman and a stork. She's definitely a Disney princess. I love her, and many other people love her as well. Clips, again, have gotten hundreds of thousands of views, close to 100,000 likes. And you would think that with the amount of followers, 2.3 million, that Jen has amassed, that she's been doing this for a long time. No, she actually just started her account in 2023, and here's why. Jen says she was at home, stuck in her bedroom, feeling pretty lousy and down in the dumps. She says she couldn't even remember the last time that she smiled. And it seemed like absolutely nothing good was happening in the world. But she says, I knew that couldn't be true. She says she uploaded one video, and after one of the videos suddenly took off and got over 100,000 views, she realized that there were lots of people out there like her looking for things to smile about. She then decided it was her mission to make content that would make people feel good. The other interesting part of Jen's story and her viral fame is that if you go to the comments, which is always discouraged, don't go to comments because that's where you find largely the cesspool of humanity. Her comments are largely positive. You have a lot of people in there atoning, to the fact that this is information that they've needed, that they've been going through depressions themselves, that they're so happy to see this Turkish fisherman and the stork or these cats and dogs or other sorts of stories. And because this community that Jen has created is so positive, she touts that as a part of her brand, that she's pushing positivity, tight-knit community, and appreciation for gratitude. So if you want to follow her, again, something really positive, she is @ThatGoodNewsGirl on TikTok. The last story is strange. It's strange. By now, you probably have seen this story. You didn't even know what you were looking at. You heard it. You saw it. Mo, I'm sure you've gotten wind of it. There's this guy who went viral. He's a fitness influencer, and he posted a video that was taken and reshared by another account, a fitness account. And this video is about this young man's wake up routine. It's titled Wake Up With Me or Get Ready With Me. Okay, pretty innocuous stuff. But his video starts at 3:52 in the morning. Who does he think he is? You, Mo, filling in for Bill Handel?
Oh, that was low.
Oh, well, this is something he revels in. He enjoys it. He wakes up at 3:52, and for the next 5.5 hours, he shares with his followers his morning routine, which involves rubbing a banana on his face, a banana peel, dunking his face multiple times in ice cold water. You get to see that he bathes practically with bottled water and all of these kind of unusual and sometimes obnoxious habits and routines that he has within this 5.5 hour morning process. Well, what has come out of this viral video by Ashton Hall, the influencer we're speaking about, is that the brand of water he's been using, Saratoga, has gone bonkers. People are buying it. You can't find it on shelves. It is selling out everywhere. You might have seen these bottles. They're cobalt blue. They're glass. If you remember Clearly Canadian, that old sparkling water, kind of in a nice carafe shaped bottle, kind of looks like that. And it doesn't seem like something that you would necessarily use daily for your bathing or your face washing or to brush your teeth like Ashton Hall is. But he uses the water for a variety of purposes, including the aforementioned dunking his face in ice cold water. A lot of people are mocking this video, including New York Governor Kathy Hochul, the Empire State Building's social media account, YouTube star Mr. Beast, and many other celebrities and non-celebrities alike are filming their own content to share to make fun of Ashton Hall. But what is true is that Saratoga water has seen a 1,000% spike in revenue. And Google Trends says that the water is at an absolute all-time high since the video was released a little over 1 week ago. The power of virality, the power of influencing, and product placement. If you are smart, you can get your product in the hand of a viral influencer, then your product might see an increase in revenue.
There are a lot of variables. It's an inexact science, but sometimes you just got to be lucky.
It's luck. It is absolutely the luck of the draw, because if he would have chosen something else, Aquafina or anything, that probably also would have seen an increase in sales as well. People really want to be a part of something, and these viral videos capitalize and exploit people's want to be involved, to be connected to something successful. And Ashton Hall is now really doing well financially because of the virality of his videos. Millions of followers, even more millions over the course of 1 week, Mo. It's insane how fast this account and that one video has blown up. Expect to see it, honestly, on Saturday Night Live if they haven't covered it already. That's how popular it is.
Incredible.
And that's the end of tonight's Viral Load.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And if you have listened to me for any length of time, you know I love cruising. I make no apologies for that. It's something that I look forward to each and every year. I think my wife has already paid for a cruise. I think it's a Mediterranean or something. I think we're going to go to Turkey. So we haven't been to Turkey, so we're going to hit another part of the world on this cruise. And it's in August, if I'm not mistaken. We usually go on a 7 to 8 day cruise at the most. There's a reason for that. One, you get bored, I think. And two, you can avoid some problems. Here's what I mean. When I tell you about how Norovirus has ruined a cruise for over 200 passengers, there's a reason, okay? 224 passengers and 17 crew members fell ill, according to the CDC. The affected voyage was a luxury Cunard line ship traveling from Southampton, England, through New York and the Caribbean. It's a long way. It's a long time. And it was supposed to return to the United Kingdom, according to Cruise Mapper. The ship, Cunard's Queen Mary II, was scheduled to travel for almost a month, departing on March 8th and was going to return on April 6th. The norovirus, almost always, where you have these outbreaks, the longer the cruise, the more likely you will have an outbreak. If you're on just a 7 or 8 day cruise, you're going to be good. I mean, because there's an incubation period. It's not going to spread through the ship in a short amount of time, generally. And I was telling you to all, even before you got on the ship, certain things not to do to avoid things just like this. If you've ever been on a cruise ship, there are stairs, usually at both ends of the ship, people will use to walk up and down as opposed to getting on the elevator. I told Tuala, do not put your hands on that rail. Yep. Risk falling and busting your ass. But the stairs are huge. They're wide. You don't need the rails.
The stairs are wide. The stairs are sturdy. I didn't even touch elevator buttons.
Hello.
I didn't touch door handles going in and out of bathrooms. I kept some paper towels or something on me. So I could let me use something else to touch that. And I kept seeing people looking sick. And I said to myself, I'm not about to be one of those ones who get one of these nasty viruses.
And it depends on the cruise line. Now, Royal Caribbean, they make you wash your hands going in and out of what they call the Windjammer. That's the buffet section of getting food. And honestly, that's where I would always get my food. The formal dining experience is boring. It's slow. And after you do it once, you'd realize, I don't need to do this again. So most people go to the Windjammer, and they usually have someone in there singing a song like "Washy, washy, washy,
washy, washy."
Yeah, they will not let you in the dining hall without you washing your hands. There are people watching you, so it's less likely to happen on a line like Royal Caribbean. I don't know this line. I've never been on a cruise with them, so they may not have had that type of mitigating procedure to make sure people didn't get sick.
It's called the Queen Mary II, and right there, that's your downfall.
Well, they didn't call it the Titanic.
The Queen Mary ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but it's not like everyone died or got sick on it.
No. I'm just saying that right there is not a successful cruise line. It's a fun destination, but no one has ever said, yeah, man, when I went out on the Queen Mary, why? Because they ain't go nowhere. Look, it's sitting there and it looks nice. You don't call it the Queen Mary II, right? You just don't do that.
I am not getting on any cruise ship which is going to be traveling for a month. I'm not getting out of a suitcase for a month.
Okay. And we had talked about this before with that cruise line that I believe in may have already embarked, the one that's going to be on the seas for the entirety of the Trump administration.
Yeah, 4 years. You honestly, you could not pay me. You couldn't say, hey, Mo, we'll give you your work salary. You don't have to work. You just live on the ship. I would think of that as almost like a floating prison. Yes, you're going into ports, but if you've ever been in those staterooms, you can only fit like 6-7 days worth of clothing. Okay,
but look, now Mo, you're going to be broadcasting live. We know how much you love going on cruises. We've got to deal with cruise for a lifetime cruises, and you're going to be broadcasting on board for the entirety of the Trump administration, or just it didn't even have to be that. Just you're going on a cruise for 4 years. You're saying that you're not going to go 4 years being on a cruise?
I'm saying that's 4 years.
You're getting paid.
I know that. And talk to anyone who's worked on a cruise ship. It's work.
It is.
It's work. Now, if I were 21 years old, single, and living a level of lifestyle which is consistent with someone who's 21 years old, no real ties to any location or anyone, yeah, that would be cool because, your food is taken care of, your board is taken care of, and you're getting paid. That would mean something. But now, no, I would like to be able to play with my dogs. I'd like to be able to visit people when I want. I would like to be able to go to someone's wedding. If we're talking about 4 years now, a lot of life happens in 4 years, and you're anywhere around the world. Would it be nice to see all these places around the world? Sure, but I need like a helipad or something where I can leave the ship every now and then and come back to the United States. I need to do it like Bezos style, where I can come and go as I please.
Retirement, Mo.
I have thought about this. I think the idea is more attractive than the reality. At most, I would consider a month. I've looked at the year-long cruises. I really looked at it. It's like, oh man, I would like to go there. I'd like to go there. But I know at the end of every 7-day cruise, I'm ready to go home. I really am. Because I'm tired of living out of my suitcase. In other words, I can't do laundry like I want whenever I want. I feel kind of cooped up because the ship, regardless of how large it is, you kind of know where everything is. There's only so much drinking I can do. There's only, I want to get back to the world after a certain point, whether I'm retired or not.
Okay.
That's what makes it special, because it's not all the time, every day. There's a limited amount of time where I can act a fool for 6 days.
If nothing else, you're a fantastic salesman, because I was so on board with cruises, and now I don't want to do a cruise anymore.
I'm talking about, but it has to do with the length of the cruise. We're talking about a month, or a year, or in this case, we're talking about 4 years.
Yeah.
No, I would never recommend that. Never. And I've heard of people, retiring and just living on a ship.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Mm-mm.
That's a no, huh?
For the super long cruises, yes. A week, 10 days. That's my max.
Okay.
That's my max.
Okay.
The novelty will have worn off long before that. Now, if I'm a 21-year-old single guy, you're going to a different port and you're meeting a different woman all the time, oh, that's great. As a married guy who's 55, I'm not trying to do all that.
Have you ever considered going on the cruise that goes through the Drake Passage? It's the one that goes to Antarctica.
Because I've read the news on that. No.
It's 10 days. And I just watched a little YouTube about it with this couple that did it, and they recommended it. They said it was beautiful, but
Even
it's a 50-50 shot.
It's a 50-50 shot. You might have a wave which will capsize the whole ship. It's like, no.
The hell?
Yes.
That's not. Why do they advertise that? Why is that even?
That's the draw?
I don't know if it's the draw, but it's one of those things like you heard about. We talked about the cruise ship where they had to turn off their lights and pull their drapes because they were worried about pirates and everything. If you're a real cruiser, there's certain parts of the world you just don't want to go. And there's certain times a year you don't want to be in certain parts of the world. There are cruises which are going to the Bahamas during hurricane season. I will not be on one.
Wow.
I don't know why they even offer them, but they do.
$10,000 per person, by the way, for the cruise through the Drake Passage.
For the chance to die.
They can't assure you that won't happen, but they say that it is highly unlikely, but that you very well may get violently seasick because you're tossing.
The unlikely event of a water landing. It's that same type of thing. It's like, it's not a high likelihood, but there's a possibility. And if you know anything about the Drake Passage, they encountered rough seas. Yeah. They
call it the Drake
pirate.
The Drake shake.
Okay.
The Drake shake or the Drake lake.
Look, we're trying to get Mark on the boat. We're not trying to scare him further away.
No, that's not going to happen.
No. I wouldn't mind taking like a week-long train ride someplace because you don't get Norovirus and you can't fall overboard. But no way on the cruise.
I've done the week-long train ride. It's actually like 4 or 5 days going from L.A. to Detroit. That's not bad if you have a sleeper car on Amtrak. Yeah, I'm being serious.
Yeah.
You get to see America. They're making enough stops where you get off and stretch your legs. Now, I don't know about what the sleeper car Amtrak experience is like now. Do they have a car with this, like a gym car, a car which is dedicated for like exercise equipment?
I would be surprised.
Yeah.
I got to look that up because I did the trip. We caught the train to Philly.
From LA?
Yeah. We had to switch to a Greyhound bus once we got close enough. Yep. But yeah, we caught the train and that was a nice sleeper car experience. Seeing the States on the ground level. Awesome.
But
don't do it with small children.
Well, yeah. That's
not something I recommend.
I'm being selfish. I would like to do it for me. And I did it when I was actually a child, like maybe 9-10 years old, going to Detroit. This is pre-internet, so you had the family experience. It was me, my sister, my mother in a sleeper car. And if I were to do it now, you'd have internet. There'd be ways so you can, entertain yourself, have a drink or something, watch the United States pass by. It probably would be a very relaxing experience, assuming you had a sleeper car. But it's not inexpensive. It's actually very expensive.
Yeah.
compared to flying, very expensive.
And it's actually more expensive than being on a cruise, Mark. So you might as well join us on the next outing.
That's true. It is more expensive than a cruise.
Oh, well, you really sold me on it this time, didn't you?
What I recommend is what I recommended for Tuala. A nice weekend cruise, a 3-day cruise. You get your feet wet, not literally, but you get a taste of what a cruising experience is like. And then you can say, okay, I'd rather elongate this and have a 7-day cruise or go to a specific location. What I enjoy about cruising, it allows you to sample different destinations, not spend a lot of time there. And if you want to come back and spend more time there, you can. You can hit 4 or 5 ports on a 7-day cruise.
Do you consider it a rite of passage to get violently ill on a cruise?
Not at all. Actually, you feel more motion on a whale watching trip. Or
it's not the motion, it's the norovirus.
Well, I'm saying
I can handle the motion.
Okay, well, the norovirus, we're talking about once every, 4 or 5 years. You hear a story about that.
No. It's quite frequent. In fact,
well, it's not quite frequent.
If we didn't have to go to a break right now, I had an article prepared that lists a bunch of recent cruises where norovirus broke out.
But do you know how many cruises every day of every week there are cruises? I know we're supposed to go to break, Stephen. Don't you try to spaghetti strap, tell me to break, snap. We'll stay here until 9:55.
I gotta learn him one.
All right, we got to go to break. KFI.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1, go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2, collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3, play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4, unleash your excitement.
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from the Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
There's an efficient way to get caught up on a lot of news. It's called The 7 from the Washington Post. It's a newsletter and podcast. Whether you're reading or hit play, you get 7 stories you need to know, and you can consume it all in just a few minutes. The 7 is out every weekday morning by 7 a.m. Eastern. I'm Hannah Jewell. I'm one of the writers, and I host the show. Find The 7 podcast wherever you're listening. The newsletter link is waiting for you in the show notes.
AM 640, we're live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And for my final thought tonight, by now you've heard about New Jersey Senator Cory Booker standing on the Senate floor for more than 25 hours, speaking in critique of President Trump and the Trump administration. A new record, if you happen to know the history. It meant different things to different people and different constituencies. If you don't know, standing on the Senate floor and talking ad infinitum is not new. From the late Strom Thurmond, the previous record holder, to more recently Ted Cruz, who tried to filibuster in the hopes of defunding Obamacare back in 2013, he stood on the Senate floor for 21 hours. The question that most people have is simple, or the assumptions are pretty predictable. What did Cory Booker accomplish, if anything? On substance, nothing. On substance, absolutely nothing. It doesn't impact what the Trump administration has done. It doesn't likely impact what the Trump administration will do, in the way that Senator Strom Thurmond's filibuster did nothing to stop the Civil Rights Act of 1957, and Senator Ted Cruz did nothing to help repeal Obamacare. On substance, made no impact. But these are times in which symbolism can matter. I said can, as in possibly. The Democrats have been lost in the wilderness, my phraseology, since November. Booker's 25 hours can galvanize a party and focus a party. I said can, not necessarily will. But symbolism does have its place. Some moments can lead to momentum, and momentum can be turned into a movement. Elections in a national sense are all about momentum. You can go from no momentum to some momentum just because of one act. It could be a speech. It could be an interview. It could be a debate performance. And if you think about it, that could go either way, positive or negatively. Democrats will tell you that the Wisconsin State Supreme Court election win last night is a big step in the right momentum direction. Maybe, maybe not. But it's worth noting that in a race that Elon Musk spent some, $90 million and gave away $1 million checks to multiple individuals, that impact of Elon Musk was negligible or non-existent in terms of swaying that election. So say what you want, but that Republican loss, it's absolutely connected to why it's being said that Musk will be leaving Doge or stepping back in Trump administration duties in the coming weeks. Put another way, that race mattered. That's how momentum starts. And this is not about 2028. This is about 2026. Flip a few House seats and the speakership goes to Hakeem Jeffries. No more blank check for the Trump administration. More momentum has been generated, and so on. Here's how I know, and we're going to use history as a guide. Ted Cruz's 21-hour filibuster in the hopes of defunding Obamacare back in September of 2013 was on substance unsuccessful. But on symbolism and momentum, in the 2014 midterm elections just a year later, the Republicans won 16 seats from the Democrats, and the GOP achieved their largest majority in the House since 1928. Due to that Republican wave. Arguably, you can trace the beginning of that red wave right back to Ted Cruz's filibuster the year prior. Cruz was mocked and ridiculed by the Democrats. Sound familiar? Not unlike the Republicans, who've largely have mocked and ridiculed Booker, questioning what it accomplished. I hope you can see where I'm going with this. The spark, while symbolic, is the point. Of course, there are other variables along the way, but every wave starts with a droplet. It also bears mentioning that in the way that Cruz used his filibuster to prime the pump for his eventual presidential campaign, you should assume the same with Booker. Lastly, if the past is prologue, and there are any other meaningful parallels between filibusters and future elections, Ted Cruz's 21 hours on the Senate floor was 1 year before a major red wave midterm and 3 years before a Republican returned to the White House, just in case you're paying attention. So before you write off Booker's record as just some meaningless stunt, look at the lessons of Ted Cruz and that roadmap. Not everything needs to have an immediate impact or a substantive reward for it to matter. On substance, neither Ted Cruz nor Cory Booker gained anything. But in the long view, don't overlook how symbolism can be the spark that a party needs. For KFI AM 640, I'm Mo Kelly.
Common sense left California a long time ago. We're bringing it back.
KFI
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hey, it's Amy Brown from The Bobby Bone Show. Join me in supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital for a chance to win a trip to meet Megan Maroney at the 2025 iHeart Country Festival in Austin, Texas on May 3rd, hosted by Bobby Bones. We're going to hook you up with tickets, flights, hotel, food credits, and a meet and greet with Megan Maroney. Take action now to support St. Jude and help cure childhood cancer, and you're going to be entered for a chance to win. Visit iHeartCountryTrip.com to learn more.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.